Hi, this is Larry Hatch for another Hatch's Beer of the Week. And Hatch's Beer of the Week comes from Hatch's Encyclopedia of Beer, a 100% free guide to 4,000 and more fair, often humorous reviews by true experts. I picked the panel myself, and everybody has over 20 years' experience in the brewing industry, making beer, drinking beer, testing beer, you name it. Uh, you're going to get some really good solid opinions, and it's only available at brew-base.com, and it's based on the original software program from the 80s called Brewbase, which was a computer program to help you select beer. Now it's turned into a website because it's much more extensive, and we award beers 1 to 5 bottles based on our liking of them. We rate beers for what they are and not what they say they are, and whether we like them or not. And we always drink at least 12 ounces of the product, and preferably the entire container, unless it's something really huge. So we don't sample little tiny cups of stuff at trade shows and call that a review. We drink the whole beer, yeast and all. Our beer today is a wonderful, very unusual thing. It's from Cooperstown, New York, Ommegang. Many of you know them for their Belgian ales, which are very traditional and very high quality. A lot of them have perfect scores with us or very close to that. They've been branching off into other areas, such as lagers and non-Belgian ales. And this is from their OMG, oh my god, series that they branched off to, and it's something very different for Ommegang. It's called Sleevless Tea, a summer lager with black tea, lemon, and natural flavors. And it's what you would call, I guess we would call a summer refresher. Just a very light, bright, flavorful, kind of summery sort of beer. And we gave it a perfect 5.0 score. I was not expecting to do that, frankly, because most of the kind of iced tea kind of beers are either weak or not really beers. And this one really delighted us. And it's 5%, which is about right for a summer refresher. It's got 16 IBU. It's a very pale, pilsy yellow in color. And it has a short-lived head. It's kind of noisy and bubbly. Just it's there and it's gone. And it's kind of a yellowish cream sort of thing. So it looks like a Pils, but the head's more yellow. The lace lasts for a long time, and so it looks good in a tall glass or some nice crystal. And Ommegang is going to use some good yeast, and I'm sure that's why the lace is terrific. They add lemon in the form of lemonade, and there's black tea. So many of you know there's a thing called the Arnold Palmer, the famous golfer, has a line of drinks that are a mixture of iced tea, black tea, and lemonade. So it's sort of an Arnold Palmer theme that adds lager to it. And the malt bill here includes two things. It includes flaked corn and Pilsner malt. And as you know, corn is probably a kind of a cheap ingredient in beer, but in this case, it works because it gives it a bit of sweetness. Corn makes whiskey sweet. So with the corn and the Pils malt, it's good. And the hops they used was a Czech Saaz hop, so that's right on point with a nice Pils flavor. The first sip was not quite what I was expecting. I was expecting something very much like an Arnold Palmer, a tea lemonade drink, weak, but the lager Pils taste kicked in. And this thing is a real lager. It's not a beer pretending to be a lager, as many flavored lagers are. So this was like, wow. And it's not tea imposed on a lager. It's a lager that happens to have nice tea flavors. and the underlying lager part is really tasty, slightly sweet on occasion, and it's a much better beer when it's highly chilled. Again, it's made to be a quote summer refresher. There's a lot of lemony lagers and some lemon tea lagers and other tea lagers out there, even green tea lagers. Well, this is by far the best we've ever had. Frankly, we liked some of the others, but they weren't really beers. They should have been, seltzers or, lemonade tea drinks. They just didn't have a beer quality to them. And this has a distinct Pilsner malt background to it. One of our panelists said, anytime you can put tea and lemon into a lager, it says, I'm sorry, start over. Anyone can put tea and lemon into a lager, but here they excel and are different. The Pils malt gives loads of depth and harmonizes so well with a faintly sweet tea, just brilliant. And I agree, anybody can, put black tea and lemonade in the kettle and do whatever, and they probably are going to do it to a cheap, thin, underdosed, under malted lager, under yeasted lager. But in this case, they started with a really good, flavorful lager, and that stands out and makes this a deep, wonderful drink. I suspect they tried a lot of recipes because this one is dialed in, super competent. I've actually tried to do that. I've actually tried some that canned Lipton tea, and try to put that into like I did it with a Gambrinus lager, and it's really hard to get that right. Maybe you have too much lager, maybe you have too much lemon. So they really spent a lot of time on this, and everyone seems to be adding lemon and tea and whatnot to boring, weak lagers. But Ommegang knew they had to get it right, make it a lager first, and let those flavors come through. It's just smashing. It's refreshing. It's wonderful on chilled glass. Just get some. It shows that a good brewery can take a good concept and absolutely perfect it. And again, please visit brew-base.com and you'll see lots more good stuff. Thanks.